Okay, let's try this again. Welcome to Making a Better Me Day 190 update. Today was a Monday and our first day of vacation here in Orlando, Florida at Walt Disney World. Leanne and I are here celebrating our 25th wedding anniversary, which is actually tomorrow. But we're here for 6 full days. And today was our first full day of those 6. So before I get started talking about today, being Monday, I do want to mention a little bit about how thankful I am to whoever it was that turned in Leanne's phone. As I mentioned in yesterday's video, Leanne had misplaced her phone after we arrived at the hotel while I was checking in, and somebody picked up that phone and turned it into lost and found, and we were able to get the phone back last night. Just really thankful. Excuse me, I've got the hiccups here. Really thankful to whoever it was that happened to turn in that phone. It means the world to us, and I hope that good karma comes your way for doing such a great thing. Like I say, hugely appreciated. So big thanks to you, whoever you are, and I hope good things happen for you. So that being said, let's talk a little bit about today. Now, one thing that did happen very early this morning, I had something that I hadn't noticed initially when we checked into the room, and I noticed this morning, is that the shower stall here is extremely low. I'm only 5'8.5", and when I was washing my hair, my hands were hitting the shower head. It is very low, so that might be something you want to keep in mind if you were ever considering staying at the Wyndham Garden Lake Bonavista Hotel. Especially if you're a taller individual, the showers may not work well for you. So keep that in mind. Like I say, it's something that could certainly affect a lot of people. Today was Monday, and I'm going to talk a little bit about what we did today. We did a lot of things. We had a lot of fun. We are really tired, and looking forward to the next 5 more days of fun and excitement. Today we started at the Animal Kingdom, and today was an extra Magic Hours day at the Animal Kingdom, and our plan had been to rope drop Animal Kingdom. So what that means is that the Animal Kingdom normally opens at 9 o'clock because of it being an extra Magic Hour day, and we were eligible for that extra hour. That means that we were able to get in at 8 o'clock this morning. And rope drop, what that means is we were there, prior to park opening, so we would be able to join in the mad dash. And I say mad dash, they don't allow people to run. They do make everybody walk in a sort of orderly fashion, but to Pandora's Flight of Passage. So what that means is we were up at about 5:30 this morning, getting showered, getting ready, getting dressed, grabbing a quick bite to eat downstairs, and then we headed out and grabbed a bus to take to the Animal Kingdom. And we did use one of the buses from the local hotel, from the Wyndham Garden. It was our first time using one of their buses, and it wasn't too bad of an experience, actually. It took us directly to the Animal Kingdom. The biggest problem with using the buses from here is that it doesn't take you immediately right to the gate or as close to the gate as a Disney bus might take you. I find the Disney buses have better drop-off locations than the other buses. So that would be something you might want to consider if you were looking at using one of the Disney Spring area hotels rather than, say, a Disney Valley or some other Disney hotel, is that your bus drop-off may be a little further than it would be with a Disney resort. So just something to keep in mind. So anyways, we started off the Animal Kingdom, and we rope dropped there, and we went straight into Pandora and got in line to ride Flight of Passage. Now, Leanne and I, it was our first time going to Pandora in the Animal Kingdom. Neither one of us have ever been there before, and it was visually spectacular. What an amazing park or area in the park. Just visually stunning, unbelievable, so cool. Can't say enough about it. It was just fabulous. I loved it. So we decided we would go straight to Flight of Passage, which is by many considered to be the best ride on Disney property. And after riding it, I would certainly agree it was amazing. It really is very visually stunning and just a lot of fun. We had a blast. We absolutely loved it. We are hoping to ride it again at least once, maybe 2 times if we're lucky, before we finish up our vacation. The lines are crazy for it. I mean, at rope drop, we get in and on in about 20 minutes. By the time we get off the ride, the line was, I think, at about 90 minutes, and increased up to about 2 to 2.5 hours, pretty much for the rest of the day. So after we rode Flight of Passage, we decided to head over next door and ride the Navi River Journey, which is the other ride in Pandora Land. And it is more of a, well, I kind of wanted to describe it as it's a small world on steroids. It was basically the Pandora version of It's a Small World, I thought. And it was pretty cool. So what I mean by it was the Pandora version of that is that it's just basically a slow boat ride that goes through, and you get to see, some of the Pandora land in that setting. So you're sitting in a little boat, and it takes you on a track through, and there's different things you can see from Pandora. Really cool, really neat things to see, quite visually appealing. Certainly not a thrill ride by any stretch of the imagination. After that, our next stop ended up being Kilimanjaro Safaris. And the reason we went there was because there was a very small lineup. And we did grab some snacks on the way, but we headed into Kilimanjaro Safaris, and we went for a quick safari. And that was about between 9 and 9:30, I think, something like that. So we were able to get on and get off. Now we had fast passes for between 9 and 10 for Expedition Everest, between 10 and 11 for Navi River Journey, and for between 11 and 12 for Kilimanjaro Safaris. So we headed after the safari over to Expedition Everest and rode that, had a great time, lots of fun, and then we headed back over to Pandora and rode Navi River Journey again, and that was fun. We probably won't ride it again during this trip, but we certainly did enjoy it. From there, we headed back to Kilimanjaro Safaris and got another trip there. Actually, before we did that, we decided to stop for some lunch, and we went to the Siltui Canteen or whatever, the food court, the quick service food court that is in Pandora, and we did the create your own bowl or whatever it was called, where you pick a protein and you pick your base and pick your topping, and it was absolutely delicious. We got the chicken with the wild and regular rice, and I think we get a green onion vinaigrette topping on it, and it was really good. I was actually quite surprised when I looked at it. I thought, that doesn't look that great. It tasted delicious. Everything was good. So good, in fact, that we actually decided that when we go back to the Animal Kingdom on Thursday, that we would cancel our sort of Rainforest Cafe reservation, and we're just going to go to to the canteen in Pandora and eat there because we really did like the food, and it was certainly cheaper than Rainforest Cafe will be. So, not knocking Rainforest Cafe because I don't have any experience with it, but I just thought, you know what, this will be good, this is fine, we both like it, we were really happy with that decision. So after that we headed back and we rode the Kilimanjaro Safaris again. Kind of neat to see it again a different time, get a different perspective. The guides have different things that they tell you, and or some different things they tell you, and you know, you certainly see the animals in different places and different animals in different parts. You know, some of the animals that were out earlier might not be out. Some of the animals that weren't out earlier might be out later. So you get a different experience probably every time. So that was kind of cool. So after that, then we decided, well, what are we going to do? We were thinking, you know, it's getting to be time that we probably want to leave the park and get a rest. It was hot, we were tired. So what we decided to do is, well, we checked and I said, what, is there any fast passes that we can grab real quick before we go? And we could get one for, it's a Bug's Life or whatever it's called. I can't think of the name. Anyway, so we grabbed a fast pass for that and we went over there. And when we got there, the ride was broken. And so we were passed through the ride and we were given a ticket to get us another fast pass. Now, unfortunately, it wasn't available for Kilimanjaro Safaris or Navi River Journey. So we decided we would use it for Dinosaur, which we hadn't been on yet. So we headed over and rode Dinosaur. Again, a really fun ride. I actually really quite like Dinosaur. One of my favorite rides, really. It's just a lot of fun, I think, and I just enjoy it. So we did that one. Then we decided to head back to the hotel. And let me tell you a little bit about that. Our plan had been to go and catch the bus at Saratoga Springs and then walk from there back to our hotel, which is about a 12-minute walk from their bus stop to our hotel. But when we got there and we were waiting and there was no bus coming for Saratoga Springs, and we saw a bus come for Coronado Springs, and I thought, you know what, let's just take that one and then we'll head over. Unfortunately, when we got there, the bus to take us to Disney Springs didn't come for well over half an hour, so we ended up just sitting in the heat waiting. At least we were in the shade, but we were exhausted. And then we got a bus over to Disney Springs, and we decided we would get some dessert there. You'll also notice, you can probably hear that it is quite noisy. There's a balcony, or sort of our walkway is a balcony, or our door entrance is a balcony. It's outside, and the people walking by throughout the day and night, you hear them quite loudly in the rooms. So we headed over to Disney Springs, and we decided to go into the Ghirardelli Sundae shop, and we got ourselves a big sundae to split. We got something called Mint Bliss, which was very yummy. We really enjoyed it, I think, and then we headed back to the hotel, and Leanne had a little nap. She was quite tired. She was really pretty wiped out by this point, so I let her have a little sleep. I actually took a shower because I was just nasty, disgusting, stinky, and I just felt gross from sweating so much already. So I took a shower at that time. So then after that, I booked a fast pass for Hollywood Studios to go to Toy Story Mania, and so we headed over to Hollywood Studios. Now we decided to take the resort bus again, and that was a mistake this time. The resort bus said Magic Kingdom Hollywood Studios. Well, instead of taking us to Hollywood Studios, which I would think would make more sense because it's much closer, they took us to Magic Kingdom and then Hollywood Studios, which ended up taking pretty close to an hour. So we got on the bus and we rode all over the place and finally got there. So I think it would have been much quicker had we walked over to, say, Saratoga Springs and took a bus from there. I would figure that that would have taken probably maximum 40 minutes. And we would have got dropped off probably closer to the gate than we did with the bus from here. I'm just gonna have a quick drink of water. I'm trying to drink lots and stay hydrated. I've been sweating profusely all day, so keeping hydrated is important. So we finally did arrive at Disney Springs, or sorry, Hollywood Studios, and we headed straight into Toy Story Mania. Toy Story Land is visually stunning, very, very impressive. A lot of really cool things to see. Although, you know, the biggest concern that, you know, I've heard people mention and noticed, you know, right away ourselves, there is no shade, there is no cover. You're out in the open pretty much the whole time, and on a day like today when it was super hot, very unpleasant and exhausting. So after we rode Toy Story Mania, we decided that it might be in our best interest to ride Alien Swirling Saucers. That's the ride that, excuse me, I didn't have a fast pass for, and it was only a 30-minute wait. So we decided that that would be an acceptable wait time. So we got on that and rode that, and then it was time to head over to Mama Melrose's for our supper. We had a dinner reservation for $6.50, and we got there and were seated pretty promptly. They were quite busy when we got there, but we were in and seated quite soon, pretty close to our time, I would think, maybe 5 minutes after or so. And we ordered our food. Our food came very fast. I was actually shocked, pleasantly, but shocked. Now, one thing I will say is that I did want to order bottled water. I'm not a huge fan of the Disney tap water, and I wasn't sure what would be on hand, so I wanted to order bottled water. Now, they didn't have regular bottles of Dasani, so I ordered a big bottle of imported Italian water. It was like a liter bottle, and it was in a glass bottle. The glass bottles are not allowed to leave the restaurant, so I drank the whole thing there. Not that I regretted drinking a liter of water, but that might not be for everyone. The price was fair, I think, at $7. I say fair based on Disney costs, that is. Anyways, and so our food, let's talk about that. I ordered the chicken parmesan, and it came, and the portion was a little small, I thought, but the food was absolutely delicious. I think it was probably the best chicken parm I've had. I really enjoyed the chicken. It was cooked wonderfully. The spaghetti, excuse me, very, very tired. The spaghetti underneath and the sauce on it was absolutely wonderful, very pleasant and enjoyable, and yeah, just really delicious. They also served some bread right off the beginning, and it was pretty good. Pretty normal bread, I guess, but it was still a welcome addition to the meal, especially where I thought my portion size was a bit on the small side. So after that, we decided that we would get some dessert, and we ordered a chocolate cherry tort. That came out, again, the portion size was a bit on the small side, but I did think the tort was very delicious. Now, during that time, I had actually booked a fast pass for Rock and Roller Coaster. So after we ate, we headed right over to the Rock and Roller Coaster and got on and rode that. It was Leanne's first time, and she loved it. We had a blast. We decided next to ride Tower of Terror, and the wait time was, well, basically zero, maybe 5 minutes or something. We walked right on. It did say 30 minutes, but it was nowhere close to that. We get on that, rode that, and had a lot of fun with that. And at that time, by the time we'd done that, I had actually had a fast pass for Star Tours. So we headed over to Star Tours from there. So we rode Star Tours, and then I decided, you know what, let's go back and check out Toy Story Land now that it's dark and see what it's like at night. We went over there, and there was about a 60-minute wait for Slinky Dog Dash. And I said, you know what, let's just do it. It's nighttime, I want to see what it looks like at night. I know we have a fast pass later in the week for it in the day, but I wanted to see it at night. So we get in the line, ended up being about a 40-minute wait, and that put us at about 20 minutes after 10. The park closes at 12 or at 10:30. After we get off, I thought, gee, you know what, I'd really like to see the alien swirling saucers in the dark as well, with their lights on. So we went over, and we were still allowed in, so we went and rode that, and we finished around 10:30 or 10:40 or something like that. The ride wait was very minimal there. So from there we headed out of the parks. We headed back over, and what we did is we did the same thing as we did last night. We took the Saratoga Springs bus and walked back to our hotel from there. So that put us back here probably between 11 and 11:30, I would say, which was a little bit earlier than last night. So that was our day. We had a lot of fun. Very, very busy day, and a very exhausting day. So I'm looking forward to getting to sleep. I really hope I sleep better. I don't typically sleep very well in hotels, especially the first night or two. I am feeling pretty tired, and I hope that I kind of pass out real quickly tonight. We are planning to sleep in a smidge tomorrow. Tomorrow is July 10th, our anniversary, 25 years. And I want to take this time to say I really, really love my wife. I'm really thrilled with my decision to marry her. I've had 25 of the best years of my life. Over half of my life has been married to her, and I wouldn't change a thing. I love her with all my heart. So tomorrow we are planning to get up a little bit later, and we're planning to start our day at Typhoon Lagoon, and then we're heading over to Epcot for the rest of the day. Looking forward to trying some of the rides there, and having supper there, and checking out the World Showcase, and just doing as much as we can at Epcot. So yeah, that's about it for tonight. I'm gonna get myself ready for bed and call it a night. So if you've enjoyed this video, hit that thumbs up. If you have any comments, leave them below. I'd love to talk Disney with you, or anything else for that matter. And last, of course, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, hit that subscribe button. Love to have you join me on a regular basis, and get to know more about me and what we do. Anyways, have a good day or a good night, and we'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.